Hey guys, look at these pretty pants. They're baby pants, and I'm going to take you through how to make these lovely baby pants that fit baby from about 0 to 6 months. I'm going to cast on 35 needles on both sides. So we are going to pull out one by one needles. And then we are going to cast on with the Arab method. I already threaded my machine. If you don't know how to thread it, please, you can check out my video on how to thread your knitting machine. I start off with making a knot to attach to the first needle. And then we cast on with the Arab method. That's how we cast on with the Arab method. Okay, and then we put our yarn into the carriage, close the carriage, make sure our row counter is starting at 0. We are going to use tension 4 for the rib. Tension 4. Get our first row. Attach your comb at this point. If you're not using a comb like me, then you can just pull out your needles so that they keep knitting. So I'm going to first knit 10. Those are 10 rows. Then I put a fold line in tension 10. And then I continue with my rib in tension 4 for the remaining 10 rows. The purpose of putting that fold line is just to have that middle part fold well, you know, because remember now I'm joining the rib, so where I put that fold line will be the exact part where the rib is joining it as well, and it will make a flat line. Now I'm folding the, as you can see this, you pick these first 2 loops up to join, and you place your work on the empty needles that you had left behind. So at the end of this, we are going to have all needles working. So you pick the first 2 loops and put them on the empty needles. So that's it. And this one row, it joins the rib. So that one row joins the rib and gets all the needles into working position. Now we are going to put our row counter back to 0 and start on the body of the trousers. So we remember we're using 2 colors. I'm using white and red stripes. So I'm going to attach my white, and then we are using tension 7 for the body. So I attach the white. So we are going to be working in stripes. I'm going to be doing 4 rows of the white and 20 rows of the red. So we're working 4 rows of the white. And that's 4. And then we do 20 rows of the red. We are going to knit a total of 70 rows. So I'm going to be doing 4 rows of white and 20 rows of red until I have 70 rows on my row counter. So I did 4 of the red, now I'm doing of the white. Now I'm doing 20 rows of the red. Let me attach my weights. Those are 20 rows of red. Then again we do 4 rows of the white. So this is a very simple tutorial with no increases. So those are 4 rows of the white. We attach the red again for 20 rows of the red. That is it, 20 rows of the red. So we are going to 4 rows of the white. That's 4 rows of the white. So I'm at 70 where we are supposed to stop, though we still had 2 more rows of the red to go. But remember I said we need 70 rows. So at 70 we are going to cast off 3 needles on both sides. And this is how we cast off. Now what we have done here is the leg part. Now we are casting off here so that we mark the difference between the leg part and the bum part here. So I'm going to, we are going to knit the bum part after this. I'm casting off 3 needles, 1 to go. Done. Then we knit 1 row to the other side, cast off 3 needles on the other side as well. This one. 2 and 3. Those are 3. So next we are going to, remember we have 1 more row of red to go, so I'll knit it. You're supposed to knit 50 rows after this, but remember we are still continuing with our design of 20 rows of red and 4 rows of white. So let me put my row counter back to 0 so that I start off with the design one more time. Yeah, so the 50 rows I'm starting with 4 rows of white. 2, 3 and 4. Next we are going to do 20 rows. I rest my yarn just back here. I think you guys have noticed I don't cut my yarn each time I'm changing color. I just place it on the side of the machine and then bring it back when I'm going to use it again. Yeah, so we're doing 20 rows of the red. So that's 20 rows of the red. Now we're going to the 4 rows of white. Now 20 rows of red. Okay, that is 20 rows of the red. And then we had 48. So for the 4 rows of the red, remember we were supposed to do 50. So if I do 2, that is 50, but let me make 4. We got 52 so that we have a complete design. Okay, next we are going to do the rib, which is the waistband. Yeah, so for the waistband we are removing the white back to the red, and then we are going to use tension 4, same tension we used on the ankle band, same tension we are using on the waist rib. So I'm going to make a rib of 1 by 1. And how do I make that rib? I skip the first needle, go to the second needle, pull it in front, push it backwards and remove the yarn. Then I put it on the next needle. Go to the next after that, pull it in front, push it backwards, the yarn will be off, put it on the next needle. So I'm just going to do that to create a 1 by 1 rib that way. So after creating our 1 by 1 rib, after creating our 1 by 1 design, then we're going to get a rib, which will be our waistband, and we'll be done with this part of the pants. So I'm almost at the end of our work, creating the 1 by 1 rib, and that's it. Good. So we already put our tension in 4. Now we are going to knit 30 rows of the rib, but we are going to start off with 15 rows first, which is half of the 30. We're going to start off with 15. That's 15. Then we put the fold line in tension 10, which is 1 row. Then we put our tension back to 4 and knit another 15 rows to finish off the rib of 30. And that's it. Now next we have to join this rib that we've created to make to turn it into a rib, basically, to make our waistband. So you have to pick the first row of the rib that we created and place it on the empty needle so that we have all needles back to work. Yeah, since we have white here, this red here, this row, it's our first row of the rib that we are picking and putting on the empty needles so that we can join our rib with all the needles. So do this to the end of your work. So we are coming to the end of joining our rib. Next, we are going to knit 1 row in tension 10. Let me pull all this out. So we are going to knit 1 row in tension 10 to join the rib. Why am I using tension 10? Because tension 10 makes it also easy to cast off. So it's the same row I'm going to use to cast off. So I'm putting my tension in 10, knit that 1 row, and then we can use it to cast off. Also, using tension 10 ensures that your waistband won't be really tight on the baby's waist. Yeah, and this is how we cast off. So you just pick the first needle off, push it backwards, pick the next, and hand knit it. Move it from your work, pick it, knit it, remove, hand knit. So this is a very simple cast off method that also doesn't use more yarn. So if you're about saving yarn, this is the method for you. But I also like it because it's fast. It's a fast method of casting off. When it's done, we knit twice to just make it tight. That's 1 and 2. Then you can cut your yarn, and let's see what we have made, and then pull it through. Yeah, remember to stretch your work. Remember to stretch your ribs with this. All right, so this is it, guys. This is our waist, and that's the lovely piece we have created. Now we have to make 2 pieces of this because this is our first leg. Follow the same procedure and create the second piece, and then I'll show you guys how to join your work. So stay tuned, and please do subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. Give the video a thumbs up. So let me make my next piece Then we meet up and join our pieces together. Yes, so guys, I have both parts of the shorts ready. So it's always best to make the waist rib a bit bigger than the ankle band. Yeah, that's why we did only 20 rows for the ankle band, and then we did 30 rows for the waistband. So we are going to use a yarn needle to join the parts together. So you get your yarn, fix it into the needle. It easily gets fixed. And then let me show you guys how to join. Remember, we have our marked area where we cast off our 3 needles. For this part, this is the marked area. This side as well, that's where we cast off the 3 needles. So that shows you where you're supposed to stop when you're joining these pants, yeah? So I'm going to join all the way from down and stop there where we cast off. First you start from the beginning of your work, pull the needle through, and then I make a knot there to make our beginning firm. Okay, so I make a knot there, and then now we can continue with our joining. So you have to make sure you're neat with your joining. Make sure where there is white, you've joined white to white and red to red. Don't make a mistake and have very white a little bit down on the red. No, make sure your work is neat. So you could just do a simple joining. Just simply going to be doing this. Rib is done, see? I'm showing you guys clearly. So the rib is done, then we go up to the white part. Make sure you line it properly so that you don't make a mistake and have white in red. Now I'm up on the red. There are so many ways of joining. You can even use a sewing machine if you have a sewing machine. So far so good. Let me show you guys what I've joined. See that? Neat, right? From the beginning to the white part to the red, yeah? So join and finish off the legs. Let's meet up when we finish joining each part of the leg, yeah? So I've joined my legs, as you can see. The leg parts are joined for both. Then you join this. So you hold one part and join it to the end. Okay. And then we'll also join the other side. I hope that makes sense. So our legs are here, then you join this part to this all the way up. So make sure you leave no space between here. So where you stopped exactly is where you're supposed to start from. Start off with your knot again. Then you start joining upwards like we did the first time. Now I'm even using a different method of joining. I hope you guys have noticed. So whichever way you join, whichever way is easy for you, as long as you join right. You see how I'm joining my white to white on the same level, then I get to the red. Okay, so let's join to the end of this and then turn to this part as well and join it all the way to the end. So guys, look at what we've made. So cute. You can see how I've aligned my colors pretty well. So you can make a string to put it in your waistband if you feel like it's big, but mine is really perfect. It doesn't need a waistband. Rather, it doesn't need a string or I-cord. Though I'll make a video showing you guys how to make the iPod as well, so you can check it out. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed.